class 9 students, we are again here with the next part of our chapter number 3, that is atoms and molecules. In the previous two chapter we have learned about the different laws of chemical combination, as well as we learned about the Dalton's atomic theory and how this Dalton atomic theory became the foundation of the other scientists because of its three main drawbacks of this theory. Then we learned about the how smallest the atom is and why there is need, what is the significance of giving symbol to any particular element. Now let's learn more about the atoms. We have learned that everything is matter. Matter is made up of atoms, but how actually these atoms exist in nature? The atoms of only a few elements, we call them a noble gases, means it occurs in the nature in different forms. When it is occurring in the free form, that noble gases means they will not be able to react with the other, so they not reacting very actively participate in a chemical reaction. They do not actively participate, right? So these are become the noble gases. We call them helium, argon and krypton. Other than this, most of the elements, they are chemically very active and they do not exist in this forms like in noble gases form. So how do they actually exist as? They actually exist in two forms, whether they will form the molecules or they will form the ions, and by forming the ions they could make the compound over it. So what is a molecule? Molecule, it is a neutral group. Neutral means it is not having any charge over it, in which the two or more elements could held together. These elements could be held together by the different chemical bonds. It could be the covalent bonds by sharing of the electrons, or by forming the ionic bonds, means by donating or accepting the electrons from the other atoms. So molecule, it's a group of atoms, group of same or different kinds of atom together. Now the molecule could be of two types. We can say that the molecule of element. Molecule of element means only a single type of atom will be involved. They bind chemically to form a molecule. Means molecule is what? It is a group of atoms. If the same group of atoms join together, they'll forming a molecule of the element, like H2, N2, O2, Cl2, S8. S8 means there 8 atoms will be involved forming the sulfur. P4, they will not stay together, they will not be like free state, so they form the chemical bond with the other phosphorus molecule and they found together in the P4, other than ores and other things also. Other is, so the number of atoms that is present to form a particular molecule, we call that number as the atomicity. So the elements, the molecule of elements, it is having the atomicity. So elements which are having the one atom involved in them, like argon, which is a noble gas which found in a free state, these are monoatomic because only one atom could be considered, one atom is enough for it to be found in the nature. Next is hydrogen. Hydrogen always found in the form of H2, so it is diatomic. Di means two, and the always found in the atomicity of the hydrogen will become 2. Chlorine, again 2, that means diatomic. The atomicity number is 2. Other than this, they are P4, polyatomic. Other than this, sulfur, S8, these are the polyatomic. Poly means many. So the number of atoms that involved to form a molecule of a particular element means they are forming the same kind of atoms are joining to form an element, so that will become its atomicity. It could be monoatomic, it could be diatomic, it could be triatomic, tetraatomic, or the polyatomic. But we know very well that some other atoms also join together. Different kinds of atoms also join together. So we call them molecules of compounds. When different atoms join together chemically in a particular definite ratio, they'll form a compound. These could be HCl, HNC, different atoms, H2O, different atoms, HNO, CO2, right? CaCO3, different atoms when joined together, they'll form the molecules of the compounds, and they always join in a fixed ratio. Next thing that we have discovered, that the elements will be found, or the atoms is found in the form of ions. Ions could be a charged entity. The charge could be the positive charge or the negative charge. The positive charge is always known as the cation, and the negative charge is always known as the anion. So loss of electron, it is when a neutral atom is a neutral entity, it is not having any charge naturally, but when there is a need for the formation of the ion, when there is a need for the formation of the compounds by forming the ions, so what they lose, they lose or they accept the electrons. When they lose the electrons, so there's one thing, that electron atom is made up of three entities, that is electron, which is negatively charged, next is proton, which is positively charged, and third is neutron, which is neutral, which is not having any charge in the atom. So neutral atom, there is a atom, this is the atom, right? And in the nucleus, in the middle of the center, the proton, the plus positive charge entity, and the neutral charge entity will be reside inside the atom. And the negative charge entity, it revolves around the atom in a particular shells. So how it become the neutral entity? The total number of protons will always be equal to the neutrons. The total number of protons, it will be equal to the electrons that revolves around the sun. So positive charge is always be rectified by the negative charge, which is revolving around the neutral atom. So when a atom loses its electron, so what happens? The electron numbers will become less, and the new proton, that is the positive entity, it will remain the same, but the electron part will change. So by losing the electron, it acquired the positive charge, because positive charge became more as compared to the negative charge, which is actually rectifying its presence. Similarly, when it gained the electron, so the electrons, the negative and charge entity will become more in the atom, and it will form the negative charge, that will become the anion. So by losing the electron, cation will be formed, and by gaining the electrons, anions will be formed. So the element will be found in the form of molecules, in the form of compounds, or in the form of ions in the nature. Then we know that we always represent a compound, a substance, by its chemical symbol. We never write the whole name, but you preferably love to write the symbols, chemical formula of a particular substance. What is a chemical formula? It is a short way representation of any compound by using the chemical symbols as well as the numbers to represent a substance. In this, the chemical symbol, it is representing the how atoms, which atom is involved, which atom of which element is involved, and the number represent the how many atoms will be there to form that particular molecule and to form a part of that particular compound. Number is always written in the subscript form. If there is one atom, there is no need to write 1, but if the more atom will be there from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so there always need to write their numbers, so that we can easily find out how many atoms are involved to form a compound. So to write a chemical formula, we know many of the substances around us, but to write the chemical formula, we must also know about what is it, the symbols of the elements and the valency. Because I have told you that for a chemical formula, we use the symbols. So we need to learn more about the symbols. So we have already know that the symbols which is given by the J.J. Berzelius, the English letter symbols given by him. Next thing is valency. But what valency is? Valency is what? Valency is nothing. It is the combining capacity of the element. Combining capacity of any element, or the combining capacity of an atom to combine with the other elements. It is a capacity of an atom, how much it can accommodate the other elements to form a particular stable compound in the nature. We can also state that it is a capacity of an atom to give or accept the electrons, or to share the electrons to achieve its state, the stable state. The octet states, it's a kind of a state in which the electron should be placed in a particular order, which we are going to study in higher classes as well, right? So valency is what? Valency is the Charge, we can say that any charge that is on while forming the cation or anion is formed. So the charge could be the valency, the how much electron it is sharing to form a compound, it will also become the valency. Some of the valency has been given, whether it is a positive or a negative charge or acquire over there. If the ion is formed, the number of electron it is losing, it will become the valency of that particular atom. The hydrogen valency is 1, it can form the H plus ion, plus is representing the 1 part. Helium 0, it is a noble gas, it is not actively participating in any reaction. Lithium valency is 1, so plus charge. Beryllium valency is 2, 2 plus charge. Boron 3 valency, 3 plus charge. The charge is equal to the valency here. Carbon, it is not giving or accepting the electrons, rather it is sharing the electrons. So it's not forming the ion, but it is having the valency as 4. Nitrogen, it is 3 valency, 3 negative charge. Oxygen 2 valency, 2 negative charge. The charge, not the positive and the negative, and the how much charge, 1 charge, 2 charge, 3 charge, that will represent the valency of that particular element. We'll learn more about it in detail in our next video. Till then, thank you everyone and keep learning.